Welcome to Duo Chats with Brittany and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows from shows ranging from the 90s to today.
Hi everyone, I'm Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 3, Episode 22, titled The Anti-Prom, air date May 17th, 2000, and the synopsis is:
Joey, Dawson, and Andie prepare their own prom when they learn that the committee has scrutinized Jack's date Ethan. Dawson, who has invited Joey to be his date, uses the evening to try to win her back. Andie persuades Pacey to be her escort, but her evening ends by her consoling him about his love life uncertainties. Also at the prom, Jen becomes outraged with Henry when he reveals that he's leaving Capeside for the summer to attend football camp in Ohio, and Gil and Mitch celebrate their newfound romance.
Did you like how it starts, Dawson and Joey?
I mean, it was nice to kind of see them like old times.
It was awkward.
Yeah.
And it was kind of out of the blue. What? You haven't really this season seen them together, so it's kind of weird.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I did find funny?
Hmm.
Was when Dawson said, he brings up prom, he said he wants to go with his oldest friend.
Right.
I was like, well, first of all, I think Pacey is his oldest friend.
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, they've been friends for 16 years.
Yeah.
And him and Joey have only been friends since they were, 7?
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's known Pacey longer. So I just thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But he didn't really do that good of a invite, do you think? It was just kind of like, oh, you remember our pack we made?
Mm-hmm.
What was it, freshman year? That's what he said, freshman year?
Yeah.
It seems like so long ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was weird because, they bring up, like even a year ago. And it's just like, it's so long ago.
Yeah.
Because it was some of the stuff that goes on, it was like season 1. And that was just so long.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that they should go to prom together?
Well, I guess if they have no one else to go with, I don't know. Maybe Dawson could have thought of a better way to ask her too.
Not. Remember, like we basically said, we're going together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you also made that pact when you didn't date each other.
Right.
So you gotta put that into the factor, and he's not. He's just thinking of himself once again.
Yeah.
Because that's all he does. It's so annoying.
Yeah, and then after they agree about going together, the front door opens, and that's when we see Mitch and Gail
making out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would rather see them making out than fighting.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, remember, I just want them to be like happy. I'm tired of, them fighting and stuff about their divorce. So hopefully things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do want them ultimately to be together.
Yeah.
If only they could have cut out the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Because I feel like they could have wrote Dawson's parents as this great unit, like married. The fact that it just had to go a different way, I didn't like. Did you?
No.
Like, why did they have to go down the rabbit hole of getting divorced? Well, because it's TV.
I guess, yeah. To make drama.
I just feel like their drama wasn't really drama. It just was lingering.
Yeah.
And they just played around like too much with like the feelings to where it was pointless at a point. Yeah, I just didn't like it. But I do like this, that they're being all cute.
Mm-hmm. And then after the theme song, we go back to that same scene and Joey excuses herself and says she has to be late for something, even though she didn't have a watch to look at.
Hey, I mean, you would want to leave too.
Yeah. And then Gil goes off to set up the restaurant for the day, and Mitch volunteers to tell Dawson about what he saw. And, Dawson doesn't see it as anything serious until Mitch says that it's not a casual thing. So he's like, so are you getting back together? And Mitch is like, well, I haven't talked to your mom. And Dawson's like, you shouldn't be thinking this when you haven't even talked to her. And he said that he was married for her for 20 years. So he knows some things without having to ask.
I wouldn't be so sure. Remember when she cheated?
Yeah.
He didn't know that either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really confused.
About what?
Why was Pacey over at Andie's?
I thought it was the other way around.
I don't know.
Because he asked her if she wanted a drink.
Oh, I don't know. It was just weird. I'm like, why are they hanging out?
Right. Yeah, I guess they're friends now, but...
I was just like, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was random.
Like, she was with his friend.
Mm-hmm.
And now, all of a sudden, she's clingy to Pacey?
Yeah, I guess because, what was his name? Will. He went to another school.
Yeah, but she had, quote, moved on. And
Yeah.
now all of a sudden she's going backwards.
Well, maybe she just wants to be friends with him, at least in this moment. Because, like, she doesn't really have anybody else to hang out with besides for Jack.
Well, she should make some friends.
I mean, she was kind
I
of being
thought she was
friends
friends
with,
with the girls,
yeah,
I
I was gonna
thought, for
say,
that episode.
yeah, she kind of made friends with him for a minute,
This is
but
what
then,
drives me crazy, though, about this show is it's other shows make it so clear who's friends, who's not, whether they go through drama or not. This show, you're only friends by an episode.
right.
Because they made it all cute for the girls because they had the episode. And it was cute to see the girls actually having drama and not with each other, but just being there for each other and having a good time. Why couldn't they just continue that they're friends? Like, we don't see one episode. It's the same thing with like Dawson and Pacey. They give us like one episode, but we're supposed to just believe it. I don't believe it. You got to show us more than one episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They just really focus on, like, Joey and Dawson's friendship, really.
Yeah, and they forget everybody else in the show.
Yeah.
I don't like it. It's messed up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, did you like when Jack goes to buy his ticket for prom?
With, what's her name? Barbara?
I tuned her name out. I was
Yeah.
trying to tune her out. I could not stand her.
Yeah, I know, me either.
Because
And then,
what was it that she was saying to him?
well, first of all, the prom is
Couples
couples
theme.
themed.
What happens if you don't have
I
a
know.
significant other?
That's just automatically leaving people out. So I don't know
I
why they
know.
did that.
Well, that was the thing was like, it's like, oh, of course it revolves around the fact that Jack's gay, so he can't bring a guy. But my thing is, it doesn't even matter if you're straight or not. You can't even bring, or you have to bring a date.
Right.
This is
Yeah.
a messed up theme.
Set up, yeah.
And what kind of theme is that?
I know that's not a theme at all.
That's just,
And it's junior prom, so it should, like, be under the stars or something like that.
yeah, some theme that it doesn't revolve around couples only.
Mm-hmm.
That's just,
Yeah.
so I didn't like it to begin with, and then she opens her mouth, and then I really don't like it.
Yeah.
I really wish somebody would just slap her.
Mm-hmm. Surprised they didn't. They used to slap people in the show.
Yeah, but it wasn't only to Abby.
Mainly, yeah.
And then Dawson is right behind Jack, and then he goes to buy his ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And then, can I have the name of you and your date? I'm like, ooh, gag, gag, gag.
Yeah.
And so, of course, he says who it is. And Pacey's sitting right there. I'm like, poor Pacey.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I just can't with Dawson. He's so annoying.
Right.
Like, and he's all happy and, like, gloating. Like, I got her.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't see Pacey until he turned around.
Oh, whatever. But then as soon as he did, he was like, I'm good. You just saw that.
Mm-hmm.
So we're good now because you just saw that I took your girl. And again, Dawson only wants her when somebody else has her.
Yeah, that's how she kind of was, too, when he was with Eve.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But what'd you think of Andie trying to, very subtle, but not so subtle way of trying to get Pacey to ask her to
Desperate.
come?
The girl's desperate.
And how she said she had other offers.
Okay. And my thing, too, with her, I literally wrote, Andie was being weird about the prom.
Mm-hmm.
Because she was like, I have like other offers. Like, I'm just kind of like putting it out there. And it's like, huh? But she was just being so weird. Like, if you want to go with Pacey, just freaking ask him. You're supposed to be, what, friends now?
Mm-hmm.
Just ask him. But that's why, especially when she was being weird about it, that's when I definitely realized she didn't move on.
Yeah.
Whether she dated, what was his name?
Will.
Whether she dated him or not for that episode or two, she didn't move on.
Mm-hmm.
It was just another guy for her.
Yeah, even Jack points that out when they're talking at the table. And
yeah, that she's still in love with her ex.
Yeah, Jack said that it was better for her to go alone than with an ex-boyfriend that she's not over yet.
But I thought, too, that she can't go alone because she does end up buying a ticket for herself.
Yeah.
And of how the girl, that Barbara, whatever you said her name was.
Oh, yeah, she was so brave to go along.
Yeah, she was brave. a single girl going to the prom alone. And I was like,
well, that doesn't make sense.
How is she able to buy a ticket by herself?
Yeah.
If it was couple themed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I did. I understood the whole theme at the beginning because it was like, okay. I mean, I didn't understand it, but I just went along with it. But then as soon as Andie bought a ticket, I was like, wait a minute. I thought you can't go unless you have a date.
Right.
I thought that's what the whole thing was about. That she can just buy a ticket by herself.
I guess. I don't know. Maybe she got permission from the head person of the prom. I don't know.
Well, and I feel like, too, it's a school dance. I feel like everybody should be included, whether you have a date or not.
Yeah.
It should be all or nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And plus, they're the ones purchasing the ticket.
Right.
So if you don't have a date, you should still be able to go because you're paying for the ticket.
Mm-hmm. And then, Jen has her own way of trying to have Henry ask her to prom.
God. Now I have a question.
Yeah.
Okay, do you remember in season 2 when they all were sitting in Dawson's room and didn't want to go to prom or go to homecoming? They were like, we're not dance people. We're not we're not that clique. Fast forward now to season 3 prom, and they all want to go to prom.
Maybe just because prom is like a more important.
It's still a dance.
Like a milestone from their high school careers.
It's still a dance, and they all only wanted to sit there and watch movies. They didn't want to get out. They don't hang out with anybody but themselves.
Yeah.
So why would they want to go and hang out with their student body when they don't even talk to anybody? Instead, the whole town makes rumors about them.
Yeah, just because of the whole prom being special and like a important night for kids and everything.
Because I could say the only person like being excited is Andie because she was excited about going to homecoming.
Yeah.
But everybody else wasn't excited.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just weird that, and I get Dawson because he's trying to get Joey back. So it's like, oh, here's a perfect time to dress up and, I can get you back. But everybody else, like, why would Jack be excited about homecoming or about prom?
Just again because of the whole milestone.
I don't know. It just threw me off because I agree with them from season 2. They're not the dancing clique.
Mm-hmm.
But what did you think of the whole Jen trying to get Henry to take her?
Well, she went about it a weird way, like saying how prom reinforces traditional gender roles and rewards the popular kids and punishes the geeks and the pressure there is for teens to have sex and everything. So.
And again, she brings up sex.
Yeah.
I think that's all that's on her mind.
Mm-hmm.
All the time.
Yeah, well, it's more serious now for her because she's with the guy she actually likes or loves. Yeah, and then he's a freshman, so I guess he can only go because he's dating a junior.
Mm-hmm. You know what I thought was funny?
Was
when outside when Jack was telling Joey, Andie, and Dawson that he, isn't going to the prom because he's, they're not letting him and stuff. And the girls are like, well, then we're not going. And Dawson's face was hilarious. Because he was like, when Joey says, then I'm not going. And he's like, looking, what? It was funny. And then that's when he gets a brilliant idea. And I use brilliant very loosely to have their own prom.
Mm-hmm.
And I hate that Dawson is only using Jack for this prom idea.
Yeah. So
that Joey will be so excited and takes him and, goes with him and is all happy and wants to get back with him. Mm-hmm. Which whether he did it or not, I don't think that would be the indication for her to run back to him.
Right.
Like, you did a nice deed. Okay. Mm-hmm. But again, he only did it because he was using Jack.
Mm-hmm.
He was planning on going to prom with Joey, whether the group went or not. And he was only doing this because Joey wasn't going.
Yeah.
And it's like, again, Dawson makes everyone else's life and stuff about himself.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of just letting it be about Jack, he's got to make it about himself.
Yep.
And it's so annoying. And it just rubs off the wrong way.
Yeah. So at the very beginning of the episode, I thought he was just wanting to go with Joey to rebuild their friendship until he did buy the tickets. And that's when Barbara asks, like, are they back together, him and Joey? And he's like, something like that. And I was like, if he wanted to just be friends, he wouldn't have said that.
Well, and to remember, previously, other episodes, he said that he wanted to get like their friendship back.
Mm-hmm.
And that was his main focus.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that was your focus and stuff, why are you this episode all about getting back with her instead of rebuilding whatever you lost, which was your friendship?
Mm-hmm.
Because remember, that's what he told her was, the most important thing right now is our friendship. It doesn't sound like it in this episode.
Yeah.
It's all about him getting back with her. And in her mind, all she wants is to rebuild her friendship with him.
Mm-hmm.
And he's taking it to the top notch of annoyance.
Yeah, maybe this just goes back to his birthday episode when he
How
talked about...
selfish he is?
No, about Pacey. When he said about Pacey when he was drunk.
Yeah, that he wants Pacey at the bottom.
Mm-hmm. So, with Joey with Pacey, then he, at least to Dawson, won't be at the bottom. He'll have something that he had but lost and can't get back. So yeah, he is just jealous. And then
it's more than jealous. It's selfish.
Yeah, that too.
He didn't want her.
Mm-hmm.
He only wants her because Pacey wants her. Because remember, he was okay with AJ liking Joey and dating Joey. Remember?
Yeah.
He's the one that told Pacey, like, let her go. Like, she's with AJ.
Mm-hmm.
And Pacey was the jealous one.
Yeah.
And yet Dawson was cool with it. Shooting hoops. I'm good. It's like, but now that it's because it's Pacey, it's something different.
Yeah.
And that's what annoys me.
And then with the scene outside of the school still, when Jack's bummed out and he said that why is something that's normal for someone else had to be political for me? And sadly, that's still true today, 23 years later.
Yep.
So not much has changed. And then,
no, and I hope someday it becomes normalized.
Mm-hmm.
And, people aren't left out.
Mm-hmm.
And feel so vulnerable and stuff that you can't, because especially when you're a teenager,
mm-hmm.
you could just bottle everything up.
Yeah.
And then you add, everything else to it. It's just, I don't like it. It's just too much for teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for anyone, but especially when you're that young.
Yeah.
That's just a lot to take on.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you're the only gay one in the town. It's just, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, they always got to take it to the extra step when it comes to, Jack. Especially, prom. Well, you can't bring anyone. Yeah. It's he should be able to bring whoever he wants.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if Andie gets to bring herself,
then
Jack should bring his friend, too.
Mm-hmm.
And again, nobody said that he was bringing his boyfriend. He was bringing a friend.
Mm-hmm. Even though Jack did like him.
He did, but I'm just saying that it's not like they're a couple, and even if they were, he should be allowed to bring him.
And then Dawson made up the idea to have the prom at his family's restaurant without even talking to them first.
Yeah, how is Dawson going to just throw a party and have it at the restaurant? First of all, is the restaurant big enough for the party?
Kind of, if you move all the tables and such.
And also, isn't the prom a couple days away?
Yeah, so that's a lot to put together, yeah.
And how's he going to pay for it? Oh, yeah, from the tickets, but that's just a lot. And then also, is he inviting the whole... Now, here's the thing. Is he inviting the whole school, or is he leaving certain people out? Because we know he leaves people out, a.k.a. Pacey.
Yeah.
So he's not exactly doing what you're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to invite everyone, and they have to pay, you shouldn't exclude other people.
Right.
Just because you have faults with them.
Yeah, that's what Joey says later on.
Because I have faults with you.
Yeah. Because they do sell their tickets at school, which I was surprised they had permission to do so.
Mm-hmm. Because the school would be like, wait a minute, you're taking away our money.
Right.
And our dance. I don't think our school would not have allowed that.
Right.
They'd have been like, not on our property, not down the road.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It would be very hard to sell tickets at a regular school.
Right.
But again, Capeside is not normal.
Yeah.
All the stuff they do and get away with, they're not normal.
Definitely.
But Dawson gets a special treatment because remember when he was making his film using the students and then having the open auditions at school. At the
school, yep.
That didn't make any sense.
Nope.
And also, who's the new principal?
Never said.
I know. That was the thing. I loved when Principal Green was there because he was so involved with the students.
Mm-hmm.
He was always there.
Yeah.
And I love the dynamic of bringing in a principal.
Yeah.
And having him be in charge of the kids and all their drama.
Mm-hmm.
I love that storyline. I'm so sad it's gone because now they only have each other. I need an adult to step in because even Dawson's parents are not stepping in to like help everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like as in there's no adult on here that's helping the kids.
Yeah.
Is that normal?
In this world, yeah. Yeah, because if Mr. Green was still there, he would have been the one to
stop it.
Yeah, there wouldn't have even needed to be an alternate prom. He probably would have talked to Barbara about everything, that she's doing and how she's being unfair.
Well, and then I would have understood why Dawson was allowed to sell the tickets.
Yeah, that would make more sense too.
Because Principal Green favored Dawson.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, I understand. But that's the thing is, does that principal favor Dawson? Like Principal Green did?
We don't know. We don't know who they are.
I know. Is it a man or a woman? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. And then Barbara opened up her mouth again when they were selling tickets next to each other.
Yeah. Why are they selling tickets right next to each other?
I don't know. They could have been on the other side of the room at least.
Yeah, and then they could have just like made faces at each other, like comment, like look at my line, look at your line.
Yeah.
But no, they're in the end, they can bump arms.
Yeah.
Barbara and Jack were that close. I was like, you can steal each other's money and stuff.
Yeah.
You're that close. Now, I did like Andie helping Jack.
Me too.
Sell tickets. I thought that was nice.
Mm-hmm. Especially when Barbara was talking crap again.
Yes, Barbara.
Mm-hmm. But, how Jack said that he didn't want people that think like her at the prom. And she's like, what? The good Christian kind,
Well, because, did you hear what she said before that? She was like, you couldn't pay me to go to your prom. And he's like, well, good.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't want your kind there. And I was just like, who would pay you to go to the prom?
Right.
Like, really?
Yeah, Jack says that he doesn't, they don't want the kind of people that hates other people, the intolerant.
Well, then that would be Dawson.
Judgmental, hypocritical kind, yeah.
Dawson.
The closed-minded, immature.
You're talking all about Dawson.
But that was funny how Andie added with the bad fashion sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then Barbara's, threat is like, at least I'm not going to hell. And
well, I mean, it is weird that Andie does bring up the fashion because her makeup was terrible at prom.
Andie's?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think it was that bad. It was very 2000s.
My God, her eyes.
It just was like
were bothering me.
Like metallic.
It was like they screwed her over. Yeah. It was too much.
Mm-hmm.
Joey looked all natural. Jen looked good. Then there's Andie, and I'm like, they put too much on her. Yeah, her eyes. Oh,
that was just a style back then.
Yeah, but Jen didn't look like that.
I know, but like, not all the girls are obviously going to go with like the trend look.
Okay, but Jen would be the one to like maybe wear makeup, where Andie wouldn't be in. Like, she just doesn't seem really like the girl that cares about makeup. She didn't care about makeup the last season.
Well, it's just because it's prom, so it's just a special occasion.
You quit saying the word prom.
What?
You're making prom a big deal.
I'm just saying because to some teens it is a big deal.
Yeah. Well, clearly, you know what's a big deal to Jen? Prom after sex, or sex after prom.
Same thing, yeah.
Yeah. That's the only thing that's on that girl's mind because she tells Henry.
Yeah, she's bringing
it's
it
not
up.
happening, and it's like, did he say a word about it?
I know.
No, you did. Did you like when she brought it up to him? Oh, it's not happening.
Well, I get maybe just once after the first time, but after that was.
But then she kept saying it in different ways.
Yeah, but that was cute how Grams let Henry.
Oh yes, wasn't that adorable?
Wear Grams' suit, which I'm surprised that she still had, considering she got rid of his stuff pretty, quick.
Yep.
After he passed.
Yeah, that was my. Did you say Grams? Grams' jacket or Gramps?
I said Gramps.
Oh, I thought I heard Grams.
Oh, no.
But that was my thing too. Was I thought Grams got rid of all of Grandpa's stuff, and now she kept one item.
I guess.
All right.
Maybe because it was more expensive.
Yeah, but I liked it. Yeah, I thought it was cute that Henry was wearing her grandpa's, even though he's no longer here.
Yeah. And then Pacey finally asks Andie to prom after he came over again.
You mean after he felt guilted?
Yeah.
It was kind of a guilt trip when he realizes that she bought her own ticket for herself and no date. And then he said, well, what happened to your options? And she was, I didn't have any. And it was like, he's like, well, why didn't you just tell me that?
Yeah, and she said she didn't want to.
She was playing hard to get.
Well, yeah, that too.
She didn't want to be like that ex-girlfriend loser that can't get a date. That's what she was acting like. But also, like, here's my thing. Why does she want Pacey? She knows Pacey is in love with Joey. We all know that. Why does she want him? He's moved on, clearly. He moved on a long, long time ago.
Well, she still has feelings for him, and she just...
Yeah, but going with him is not going to change his mind on Joey.
I know, she just probably has that small hope.
It's just like
Dawson does with Joey.
Dawson doing everything he can is not going to change Joey's feelings about Pacey. Dawson and Andie are living in some fantasy land, and it's just not right.
Yeah.
Because you're both going to get hurt, because you both are a problem child right now.
Yeah. And then Dawson picks up Joey for the prom and gives her his mom's diamond earrings to wear. Because she said...
Did you like them?
No, because she said no corsage.
Yeah, no corsage, but here's some diamond earrings.
Yeah, that's just overboard.
You're in high school. She should get the corsage before she gets the diamond earrings. Oh, you know about that scene, though?
What?
Bess, they cut to Bess, and Bess was like, oh, put them on, I'll take another picture. And then they pan back to Joey, and she's putting on one earring.
Yeah.
I was just like, Well, it's just weird, because it wasn't like, because when she says put on the earring, she's already putting them on. So it just didn't really make any sense to say, put them on, when she's clearly already putting her earrings on.
Yeah.
Because right after she says that, it cuts to Joey and she's putting on the last earring, which means she was already putting on the earring.
Right.
Which would mean Bess didn't need to say that.
Yeah, they just didn't time that right.
No, all she had to say was like, let me know when you're ready and I'm going to take a picture. Like, that's what she should have said instead of put them on and I'll take a picture. Like, she was already putting them on.
Right.
There, that's my continuity issue with this episode.
And then at the restaurant with everything set up and people arrive, Mitch and Gail look at the crowd, and that's when Mitch tells Gail to lock up the cash register. But
because they say who was walking in.
Yeah, but like, shouldn't have they already done that before everybody arrived?
But also they should. Here's my thing. Gail's there because it's her restaurant.
Yeah.
And Mitch says he's going because they need a chaperone. But then Mitch and Gail end up dancing. Yeah. And I was like, Mitch, I thought you were the chaperone. Why are you dancing?
Yeah. They just got lost in the moment of it all.
Well, the kids could be doing something.
Yeah. But their romance is starting up again, so they're a little preoccupied.
Okay, but...
I mean, there should have been other adults there besides for them, too, so...
I have a question. Would your parents have allowed you to go to someone else's prom?
I don't know. It depends on who, I would say.
Someone you don't really know or are friends with?
No.
Exactly. I was like, there's no way that my parents would be like, well, you can go to so-and-so's prom instead of going to the actual prom. Like, no, they'd be like, no, you're going to the school's prom.
Right.
Versus a party. Because clearly there's no chaperones. The two that are chaperones are actually just dancing and into their own stuff that they're not even paying attention to the kids.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no way my parents would have allowed that.
And then Ethan and Jack are the first ones to be there, and they're both nervous. And, you know, Jack tells Ethan that he doesn't expect him to dance with him. Oh, I'm sorry, Ethan tells Jack that he doesn't expect him to dance with him.
Do you like Ethan?
Do I what?
I said, do you like Ethan?
No, because he keeps playing these...
games with him?
Yeah, like how Jack has to be the one that's ready first and make the first move and everything like that.
Now, do you think he's doing that because, not to help Jack, but because Ethan's not ready?
Yeah.
Like, I'm starting to feel like that. Because in this episode, it just, you know, because Jack's the one that invited him. Jack's the one that took the extra step. And yet, Ethan is just, at this point, he's just annoying me.
Yeah. I think he just doesn't want to make the first move and then end up getting hurt too, maybe.
Oh, so he'd rather Jack do it. Okay.
Yeah, basically.
That's stupid.
Mm-hmm. And then everybody...
I just don't like that Ethan keeps playing games.
Right. And then everybody else starts to arrive, Pacey and Andie, and
Andie's terrible makeup.
I thought it was okay, but it definitely is outdated now. But even though it's kind of come back, but
no, every time it panned to her, I was like, oh god. All I saw was the eyeshadow. It was too much for me.
yeah. And then but it wasn't until Andie and Pacey arrived that's when Dawson asked Joey to dance.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, it's to throw it in Pacey's face.
Mm-hmm.
As Dawson likes to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because Dawson's irritating.
Yeah, because Pacey...
Can you say one bad thing about Dawson?
I'll get there, don't worry. Pacey and Joey are making eye contact too while she's dancing with Dawson.
It's so depressing.
Mm-hmm.
Because I just want them to be together so bad that, the lingering looks. Did you like it?
No, yeah, I didn't like it. I didn't like to see how
sad they both were.
Yeah. And then everyone's dancing. That's when Jen brings up, the whole thing about sex again.
Told you.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that's on her mind.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he doesn't even bring it up. She does.
And then Ethan and Jack are talking, and then Ethan admits that he's never done anything like this before with the guy, and Ethan thought they could do this together, but Jack explains how it's not fair, how it's not even, because, they're at Jack's school prom with his classmates and everything.
Well, yeah, because he was like, well, everyone knows me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they don't know you, but they know me.
Yeah.
It's like, this is going to get around. Like, thanks, dude. And see, that's the thing is Ethan didn't do that to his own school and stuff. Like, I feel like Ethan, a part of him was, like, still hiding, too.
Yeah.
Because that's the thing. He wants Jack to just, you do it. You're the one that needs the help. Like the push.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think Ethan needs the push.
Yeah.
Because so far, Jack has done everything first.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was when they first met.
Yeah.
And
give each other numbers and...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just everything. It's like Jack has made the first move.
Yeah.
And Ethan hasn't.
Mm-hmm. And also, Ethan's in college, so technically, well, maybe back then, but now it wouldn't be allowed for someone that old to go with a high school student to prom.
But, I mean, I don't know what the rules are, but does it have to be like a high school student?
What do you mean?
Because what if your high school sweetheart is only a year older than you, and they're a freshman in college, and you're a senior? Like, you're only 1 year apart. You went to his senior prom, and yet he can't go to yours.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on the school.
That's what I mean is if you're only like a year apart and you attended the same school together. Yeah. I feel like maybe they'll allow that, but maybe not a stranger. Yeah. That they don't know. But you do wonder because not everyone dates their same age. So just like Jen, she's dating a freshman. Yeah. So what, when he's a senior, she can't go to his, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like she still went to the school. So you wonder if they would allow that. I don't know. Right. Yeah. And then Jack just tells him that he wasn't ready to do this and leaves. But before he does, he asks if Coke or Diet Pepsi what's better for his self-actualization, given that Ethan's a wise gay sage. That was me. And then that's when Jen and Henry bring up, talk about summer. And then Henry's like, oh, I'm going to football camp. And I do get that Jen was mad that he didn't say anything beforehand because he should have. But then she kind of made like all about herself.
Yeah, a big deal about it. And it wasn't really all about her.
She's learning all about Dawson. I mean, she's turning into Dawson.
Yeah, because he said he'll be gone for like 8 weeks. So that is about like a good 2/3 of a summer, which is a long time. But, it's to help him, play football better. Right, because that's what football camp, I'm guessing, is for. I don't know. I never even heard of that.
What? Wait. You've never heard of football camp?
Not like the way that Henry's talking about it, no.
Well, I know. Our school didn't do that. Because, okay. Our school did have football camp, but it was like the strength and conditioning sort of thing. I don't know what else they did. I think it's because legally they can't practice until a certain date.
First school year?
Yeah. So during the summer, they'll call it camp.
Oh, okay.
I think that's their way of getting away with it.
Yeah, loophole.
Yeah, because I do remember, like, my brother would have to go in for, like the mornings in the summer. But again, it was at our school. He wasn't leaving town.
Yeah.
And it was only a few hours a day. And then you had the rest of the day to do whatever you wanted. And again, it was at school. He wasn't leaving town. So I feel, but I do feel like other schools, especially maybe like the bigger schools, you may have to travel. Because I do know that there are other football camps around that you might have to travel. It's just if you can get in them or not. And I think those ones are for maybe if you want to become pro. Like if you're that good.
Yeah.
But I have heard of football camps.
So Henry going sounds a bit
right.
Like too early, first of all, because he's a freshman. But
he's a freshman, but he's on the varsity team.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just surprised that it was such a big thing.
He's that good. I mean, I don't know. They only showed one football game, 2 maybe.
Yeah,
and so I didn't like that Jen made it all about herself. First of all, it's 8 weeks, Jen. Isn't it like 12 weeks in summer?
Yeah.
And you just started dating. I mean, you were pushing him around the whole 9 months. And now you want him. Okay. Now that I'm old, I am now putting myself into like a parent. I'm not a parent, but I'm putting myself into like a mom situation.
Mindset?
Yes. If Henry was my son, go to football camp.
Yeah.
Do not chase a girl. Go to football camp. Because think of if Henry is that good and he can get all the training, he could play college. It could open up so many doors for him.
Scholarships.
Yes. And even if he decided he didn't want to be a football player, he could be a football coach or a trainer. Like, there's so much he could learn at football camp that he won't learn when he's with Jen. So, as an old person now, I definitely have a mindset of, like, younger people I'm like, if you were my son, I would make you go to football camp. Sorry.
Yeah, like how in Boy Meets World, Topanga doesn't go to Yale because she goes to community college with Corey.
But that's different.
How?
Because weren't they in college?
Yeah, but
she was an adult. She can make her own decisions at that point.
I know, but she gave up Yale.
I don't really think it matters where you go.
It might, at least a little bit. For her, she could have, wasn't she? Oh, yeah, I think she's going for being a lawyer. So that would have really helped her.
Yeah, but then they got married. So what are you going to do? Leave your husband and go to Yale?
I'm just saying she did. It's like Joey not going to Paris. Just
no.
Passing up opportunities.
Joey was in high school.
I know. I'm just saying that
and she gave up that for a boy. No. Who she's not even with.
I'm just saying no matter what age, you shouldn't give up opportunities for whatever guy you're with.
If you're in a serious relationship like Topanga was, she freaking married him in college. So
yeah, that was after Yale. Well, would have been going to Yale.
Yeah, but then they would have broke up and then they wouldn't have gotten together. So, there's that. But when it comes to like Henry, because he's such a baby, that I'm like, okay, if I was his mom, like you just at some point in your life, you got to put yourself in the adult situation and you're like, what's the right situation? And for Henry, the situation is to go to football camp. And for Jen, you just started dating him. He shouldn't give up his summer that he had planned. Okay, and here's my thing too, is a lot of the times the kids learn when they're young that they want to play basketball. They want to play football, baseball, whatever it is. And I'm sure that's been in Henry's mind since he was a kid. And, when I'm in high school, I get to go to football camp. Like, that's on their head. That's on their mind. So all of a sudden, now that he's dating Jen, he's supposed to just give it all up.
Jen probably doesn't even know about that. What he wants, because she doesn't care
what he wants. She thinks the only thing he should care about is her. And I don't agree with that. And she's being so selfish. I get you. You don't want to be away from him, blah, blah, blah. But guess what, Jen? You'll still be together. He'll just come back.
Yeah.
And I just think it's wrong. But yes, I'm putting myself in the adult situation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do you think that Henry should go to football camp?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, at least we agree on that.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like when I was watching, I was like, Henry, no. Like, I'm going to be your mom for that second. No, no, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Jen gets mad and says, "No, there's no chance of them having sex tonight." And then Henry's confused all over again.
Yeah, because he's like, you've been telling me this whole time that we're not having sex, and now all of a sudden you're saying we would have.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I mean. She is so wishy-washy back in the fort. I can't. This is why he needs to go to football camp. Just to get away from Jen.
Mm-hmm. And then when Joey and Dawson are dancing, Joey brings up why he brought her here tonight.
Yeah, that evil monster.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then she said, all you've been doing is like staring Pacey down, basically.
Yeah, throwing jabs.
And he's like, no, I'm not. It's not my fault he's looking over here.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. Because if the roles were reversed,
mm-hmm.
he would be even a bigger baby.
Yeah, because Joey tells Dawson he might as well announce that Joey is his and that he wins. Dawson tells her that he's mad that Pacey showed up at his mother's restaurant at the prom that he organized. And that's when Joey points out that the whole idea of this prom was to include the excluded.
Yep.
And Dawson said he's not excluding him. And Joey says that hasn't stopped him from parading Joey around like she's a prize. And Dawson says he's not. He's his date and he's dancing with her. It's not his fault that people are staring.
Oh my God. It's not his fault. See, he's so obnoxious.
Yeah, and Joey's like, yeah, then who cares what it's doing to me? And Dawson says it's for them to start over. And they're just, Joey and Dawson at prom having a good time. And Joey says she needs some air after a moment walks away.
It was nice outside, though, when she was talking to Jack.
Mm-hmm.
They had their cute little moment. And then didn't they hold hands?
Yeah.
I was like, what's up with this?
Yeah.
Because we haven't seen Jack and Joey be friends in a while.
Right.
Because it was Jack and Joey, but then it moved on to Jack and Jen.
Mm-hmm.
And then we haven't seen Jack and Joey. You know, all the J's.
Yeah.
And now they're holding hands.
Yeah.
It was just weird.
It was just like a friendship kind of.
I know, but they haven't really been friends for a while. Like, not that close of a friendship for a while.
Yeah, they just keep going in and out with all the friendships, like we said before. But I think it was just to kind of, reconfirm that they're still friends, even if they don't see or talk to each other that much. Yeah.
Okay, and my thing, too, is when Dawson, he gets mad. Does he talk to Pacey? Like, why are you here? I don't know if he does or not. I can't remember. But he gets mad, because Pacey's at the prom. And my thing is, this prom was supposed to be about Jack, ultimately.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, Pacey went to the prom with Andie, who is Jack's sister, because he was like, why is he here? Because he is with Andie, whose brother this whole thing is about. I'm like, so Pacey has every reason, because he's the date, to be there,
Mm-hmm.
And you really think that Pacey wanted to be there?
Right.
Like, if he yes, he had his choice, but I mean, let's be honest. He did not want to walk in there. He only did because, Andie kind of obligated him into it, and he wanted to see Joey. That was it.
Mm-hmm.
If it was anywhere else, he would have showed up there. Like, who wants to show up to now their new enemies' family restaurant?
Yeah. Gail and Mitch are having their fight over their relationship, and Mitch wants Gail to define it.
That's Gail.
Mm-hmm.
Why does she ask Mitch what he wants in their relation, or what he wants a relationship to be?
Mm-hmm.
We all have seen it, what he wants it to be. He's been saying for 3 seasons what he wants.
Yeah.
And yet, which is to be together. And yet I don't get it. Open up your... See, this is where Dawson comes from. I'm now realizing Dawson comes from his mother. Because he has that small little Dawson brain. And now she's got one. Because she's asking him why.
Yeah.
Why don't she ask herself what she wants?
Right.
Because he's the one that has already said what he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's up to her now.
Mm-hmm.
And then back at the dance, on the dance floor, Joey walks towards Pacey to ask him to dance. Mm-hmm. And this is your favorite part, right?
Of the whole series?
Yeah. At least the season, yeah.
Well, you know, it's my favorite couple. I just love them. First of all, he looks so cute in his suit.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I had to throw that. Doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, they're 16 now, right?
I don't know. He's been 16 now for a couple seasons, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
He's like 17.
Okay, yeah.
It's a new school year.
Mm-hmm.
It's at the end of that school year. He's 17.
Okay.
She's 16.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, you're the one that asked what age they were. I thought you were going to say something.
No, it's just because I feel like we are thinking of different cutes right now. Kinds of cutes.
What do you mean?
Because I know you like him, but in my head, he's a kid.
Yeah, but Josh wasn't 17.
How old was he by this point?
I don't know.
20, 21?
Mm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably. He definitely wasn't 16 or 17.
I know, I'm just saying like character-wise.
Yeah, well, I know. But when I see Pacey, I also see Josh. So
Okay.
and they're both cute.
Mm-hmm.
But no, he looks good in a suit.
Mm-hmm. And then Pacey notices
Well, okay, what do you see when you see Dawson? I see a grown man. What do you see?
I just see the characters. I don't see the actors.
Okay, but they make Dawson so old.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they?
Yeah.
I mean, JC said it.
Mm-hmm.
They do. They just make him so old. Like the old grandpa on the show.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, they dance. And then, of course, he sees her earrings and says, that's not you. And then she's like, why? Because Dawson gave them to me. And he's like, no. And then he shows her her bracelet and says, this is you. Elegant. I don't know what all he said. But anyway, everybody knows what he said because it's everyone's favorite part if you're a Pacey fan. And then they dance. But then he says the best thing that everybody remembers, which is, I remember everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he described the morning that...
Well, yeah, because she was like, how do you know it's my mom's bracelet? And he said, because you told me 6 months ago when you were wearing that...
sweater.
Yeah, and then she was like, you remember that? And he whispers in her ear, I remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that part just gets to me. I mean,
yeah.
Who remembers that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, girls remember that.
Yeah.
But Pacey just is a different person.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you think?
Yeah.
What kind of 16, 17-year-old would remember that? From 6 months ago?
Right.
None.
No.
None that I know.
And then while they're holding each other, Andie and Dawson are watching.
Okay. Here you go. Here's what I meant last season on the show. Remember when I was going to pick Pacey as my worst character because he was dancing with, what's her name, Chrissy?
Yeah.
And remember when I said the next season something like this is going to happen where he goes to the dance with somebody and dance with somebody else and I like it? This is what I meant.
Yeah, so it's just like the last time all over again because Andie gets hurt.
But I know it's the same girl he goes with. But it's so much better. And that's why I said it's really hard to judge his actions because it just fit. Them dancing and them being together just fits for me. So for me, it was hard for me to judge him with Chrissy, even though I didn't like it, because I knew that this was coming up.
Right.
And I know he hurts Andie. But I still don't know why Andie thinks that she's going to have any chance with him because we all know he's in love with Joey.
Yeah.
This is what I don't get. Is I could see season 2 because they were starting to get close, Joey or Pacey and Andie. But this is a whole new season. They're broken up. They've been broken up for almost a year. Like, it's time to move on, Andie. So, and he only went with you because you guilted him. Like, let's just call it what it is. So, yes, this is what the scene I was talking about. And Dawson, I don't care if he gets mad. Yeah, I'm actually okay if he gets mad. Now, Andie, she doesn't need to get mad. She said a couple episodes ago when he said, oh, you like Will? She said, yeah, we have to move on. Here it is. Pacey's moving on, and you don't like it.
Yep.
Let the boy move on. And for Dawson, just go away.
Yeah, I think she was only fine when she was kind of interested in somebody else, but now that Will's gone out of the picture.
Yeah, because she wants to move on, but she doesn't want him to move on.
Mm-hmm.
That's so annoying and childish. What did you think, though, with the scene of them dancing really close and cute? And then you've got the two others, their dates. Now, did you think it was wrong?
No.
Ah!
Yeah, because they shouldn't have went with Andie or Dawson in the first place.
Because
They kind of like felt, like I said, guilt tripped into it. So
yeah, they both
from
were
both of them.
guilted. But you remember too that we both, I think, agreed we didn't like him dancing with Chrissy,
right?
Because it hurt Andie.
Mm-hmm.
But here, Andie should know better.
Yeah.
Open up your eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And don't get mad and jealous because you're not together. So yes, it was very cute. And of course, she has to look and see Dawson.
Yeah, so she drops her arms
Why
from
does
around
she
Pacey.
always have to run after Dawson? It's so irritating.
It's just
what
instinct.
No, it's
she just feels
dumb.
bad. Because she's thinking about his feelings, even though he's not thinking about hers.
He has
so.
never cared about her feelings. Remember the diary?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so outside, this is when I didn't really like him because he just started yelling, which was
like a
unnecessary.
child.
Yeah.
He was like a little kid crying.
Mm-hmm. And, saying to her that things can't go back to the way they were.
Yeah, and that the only reason why he brought her was because he wanted to start their new, like a new relationship, like to start over and not as friends. And she was like, because he's like, what are you doing? And she was like, I'm trying to fix it. I'm trying to get it back to the way it was. And he's like, it can't go back to the way it was. You know that. Blah, blah. I'm like, Here we go with the whiny.
Yeah. Yeah, so, Dawson admits that he put together and then he said the whole stupid alternative prom wasn't for Jack.
Yeah.
So,
he's showing his true colors.
Yeah. And it was to make Joey remember what it was like between them as a couple.
Yeah. Do you know what I thought was funny? It was right after that part that you just said. Then he said that he wanted to show her what she'd be missing.
Yeah.
I busted out laughing. I burst out laughing. I was like, what she'd be missing?
Right.
What the hell did you two have that she would be missing?
Yeah.
Because they were together twice in season 2 and they sucked as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't get what she would be missing.
Right, me either.
And my thing too is she doesn't know what she would have with Pacey.
Right.
She needs to go find it if it's better or not.
Mm-hmm.
It could be worse.
Yeah.
But she needs to find them.
Mm-hmm.
And for Dawson to just let her find it and let them screw up.
Mm-hmm.
And, let her come crawling back to you.
Yeah, but then Dawson doesn't, pushes it more and kisses her. And said
that
was how the evening was supposed to end.
Yeah.
No, but I knew it was happening.
Okay.
It was going to happen.
But then you knew my feeling would be, they're kissing. It's just still so awkward.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and then after that, Henry drops Jen home, and, she's still mad. And, Henry talks about, making not having sex a big deal if she planned to do it all alone. And Jen says maybe if it felt natural, but it doesn't matter now, because she planned their summer together and he wasn't even thinking of spending time with her.
Again, he needs to go to football camp.
Mm-hmm. And like how she made herself vulnerable for the first time. Yeah, she just said she, made herself feel vulnerable for the first time and now she feels stupid. And, Henry says his choice has nothing to do with her. And Jen says that if this was a real relationship, his choice for those 8 weeks would have something to do with her. And then
it could be about his future too, Jen.
Yeah. And then, Jen is ready to close the door, but Henry says he can't do this again, that if she says goodnight, it's...
then she says goodnight.
No. Yeah, and then it's goodbye.
My thing too is Henry does not deserve this. He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And when he said that he's not doing this again, I was like, good for you, Henry, because you're such a good guy that you shouldn't be going through this with her. Like, she's too annoying at this point.
Right.
And he's too much of a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't deserve his heart broken again and again and again by her. And then she stomps on it and kicks it,
Yeah. And then Jack catches Ethan at the train station. And then Jack says he's sorry for the way he acted, and Ethan says he's sorry. He knows he wasn't ready to take him to the prom. He kind of pushed him too much, too quickly. Mm-hmm. And then again, Jack wants to define what they are to know who's ready, which makes sense, but still it's just confusing because neither one of them want to make the first move, really.
Then can we move on to Andie and Pacey?
Yeah,
let's move on to them. Because I can see that Ethan and Jack are kind of over.
Yeah, because
Ethan is just obnoxious.
Yeah, Ethan tells Jack to kiss him, but he doesn't, so he ends up just leaving and going back home.
So
even Jack alone.
So, Pacey, of course, him and Andie are
walking
outside because he feels bad. And they have that sweet moment where she finally was like, I'm not mad at you. And it's like, Okay, girl. But anyway, then he ends up telling her, like, hey, I'm leaving. And she was like, did you tell her how you feel? Oh, my thing is, all Pacey has done is show and tell Joey how he feels. Mm-hmm. Joey knows how he feels.
Yeah.
So the fact that Andie is like, well, did you tell her?
Yeah.
Of course he did. He told her. He's kissed her how many times? I mean, all he does is get rejected too.
Well, she meant, like, has he told her that he loves her, not just has feelings for her? That's what she meant.
And at this point, would it matter? She's so up Dawson's butt that it wouldn't even matter.
Yeah. But at least Andie came to her senses now and is telling Pacey to go after Joey.
Yeah. I mean, I'm glad that she was at least not, like, arguing with her or with him. And at least having a nice moment together.
Yeah.
Unlike Dawson and Joey. I just can't with these two.
Yeah, the next morning, Joey gives Dawson back his mom's earrings, and she tells Dawson that when they kissed, she felt something she didn't expect and something that will always be there, but she can't keep hurting people and she can't choose. So she's just telling him the same thing she told Pacey to please not make her. She's not ready and can't do it.
Yeah, and I thought just like last episode, Dawson was like, oh, I'm not going to make you choose because, you know, our friendship comes first. Oh, and then this episode, you need to choose. You know what, Dawson? You need to go away.
But now he flips the switch again and says, okay, he'll wait.
Yeah,
he has
he's
faith.
So annoying.
First, he was so insistent on being with her. Now he's like giving her time, you know, and because he's been soul searching and has come to the end of that, and what he found was her.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. And then
so annoying.
Gail comes walking up behind them into the house, and Joey and Dawson see her, so they follow her in the house, and that's when, you know, she, you know, tells her feelings about Mitch to him, and, you know, basically proposes to him without actually saying the words because they know each other's question and answer to it. They've been together for so long. They know, kind of like can read each other's minds, kind of, you know?
But not really, because he didn't know that she was cheating.
Yeah. Everything but that, yeah. Yeah, and then they agree to get married again, and then they kiss, and Joey and Dawson witness it. And Dawson has a smile on his face, at least about one thing.
His parents are getting back together. So my high was obviously my favorite scene, which is Pacey and Joey dancing together. My low was Dawson being obnoxious, and so was Jen.
Yeah.
What's yours?
Yeah, my high was the same with Pacey and Joey dancing.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, are you liking these two? Do you think they're cute?
What's your opinion? When they're not, you know, confused. Well, Joey confused about her feelings, not sure of anything. And then the low was just the whole yelling outside of somewhere, just outside after the prom, Dawson yelling at Joey about everything. I didn't like that at all. And then rating?
I would rate this a 9. It was good.
Yeah, I'd say like a 8. Just because I didn't like Dawson giving Joey a hard time and him like setting everything up just to be about getting her back and not helping Jack.
Well, that's Dawson's motive and Dawson's name.
And then best and worst characters?
Yeah, what's yours?
My best was Andie toward the end when she, you know, gained her senses and told Pacey to go after Joey. And then Dawson, of course, was the worst.
So for me, the worst was Dawson, of course. And the best, I picked Jack because I felt like he was finally putting himself out there.
Yeah.
And, you know, he hasn't really done that. And I just thought that was nice. And even though he got his heart broken, it's still, you know, still going to make him better.
Yeah.
But I liked watching him step out of his comfort zone. And then it would suck having like the whole school like knowing about you and, you know,
yeah,
everything personal.
And then since this was a junior prom, there was no prom queen or king, right?
No.
Okay.
I think that's only seniors.
Okay, I'm just wondering because I don't really see the point of having a junior prom then, really.
Well, ours wasn't. Ours was the senior prom, but it was juniors and seniors could go to prom only.
Right. Yep.
All right. So what's the next episode?
The finale of season 3, episode.
Yay.
What?
Oh, I said, oh, yay.
Oh.
Well, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's finally the season 3 finale.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll look better after this.
I know. I can't wait to get to season 4.
Yeah. Episode 23, True Love.
Ooh, true love. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep. And we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us at Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would really appreciate it.